We're podcasting. We're tech geniuses. Thank you for joining us at the hashtag IMOMSOHARD podcast. If you haven't had a chance to rate, review, and subscribe, please do. It helps us. Everybody sees it. They get happy about it. Tell a friend. Also, if you want to come see these two broads do a live show, we're going back on the road in October. So get your tickets at IMOMSOHARD.com. It's a two-person stand-up show. We're very excited about it. It's definitely R-rated. It is. We are definitely not in the business of telling you how to do your job better. We are simply here to make you laugh and not cry.
Yes. And R-rated in that it's basically the same level of what we talk about here. So don't anybody worry that, Kristen's
Say
going to go
X-rated.
topless.
I said
I
R-rated.
know.
Topless counts. You can go topless and R-rated. You back in the 80s, you could go topless and PG.
Oh my God, I know. Kristen is podcasting from her official podcast office
Well,
in her house.
if you want to call that Eleanor's old bedroom.
That's what it is.
And you know what? I actually really love it. It's just a complete disaster, and I need to organize everything, and I have 0 time, and we are getting ready to go on a 10-day vacation, and I'm not even sure if we have passports.
Ooh.
It's also going to be I don't wanna surprise anybody, but I did a weather check, and Ireland is not it's not
It's
tropical.
cold.
It's not
Yeah.
tropical.
I was thinking this the other day, and maybe I'm trying to make myself feel better, but I kind of don't think it makes sense in the summer always to just go somewhere hot. Like,
Oh,
if you're going to go to like Hawaii or Cabo, I think going in like January might be better.
I mean, that sounds amazing as well. I'd like to say yes, yes, but it could be 110 degrees and the most perfect weather outside. And if somebody gives me a trip to Hawaii, I'm going and I'm leaving. Like if they literally have you seen these TikTok videos where there's a guy that walks up to a couple and they're horrible. Don't watch them. But if they come up on our FYP, it's because I watched two. Where this guy has 10,000 in cash and he asks the dude, he goes, if I give you $10,000 right now, will you break up with her? And both dudes said yes. And the girl
What?
is left devastated. All I'm saying is, if somebody came up and said, "Look, will you leave for Hawaii right now, but you gotta leave your family behind for 10 days?" I would say, "You could give me 2 grand."
I think those women are very lucky that they get because now they know that those guys are like total broke dicks. Because
Yeah,
who does that for only 10 grand? It's not like millions of dollars. Like if a guy's like, oh my God, $10,000, his earning potential is low,
yeah,
ladies.
that guy's working at a not a cool place. He's I've got ideas of where that guy might work, but I don't wanna insult anybody that works there that's a nice
Hey,
person.
hey, it's I'm sure it's an honest day's work, but that guy,
He's gonna have that
uh,
same job in 20 years, ladies, so he's not a
yeah.
real climber.
And odds are he's gonna, like, probably leave you anyway for a lady that's worth about, 10 grand,
Right.
he's gonna
So,
be
c'est la vie, dickheads.
exactly. Okay, well, I have this thing that I thought would be really funny to do today,
Okay.
Kristen. I gotta put my readers on for
Same.
this.
My readers have a okay, by the way, if you wanna watch this, it's gonna look a little different. We're doing this remotely today because I got a skadoots with my daughter, so we're doing this remote, and it's gonna look like this for a little bit, but we really like doing it like this for some reason. It feels like we're on a phone call, which always feels really fun. Because Jen and I don't wanna shock you. We can also talk on the phone for a very long time. We can talk in person for a very long time. We can talk on the phone for a very long time, and we can talk across a room with our eyes for a very long time. But if you want to watch this podcast, you can go to YouTube. And I would just like to say that my readers have some sort of a weird yellow tinge to them. So I look like Burt Reynolds. See what I mean?
Kristen's wearing, what are they called? What the, not progressives. They're the ones that
Did
adjust to the light.
transition lenses?
Kristen's got her transitions in today.
The transition lenses. Look, I make fun of myself about how I dress all the time. If I wear transition lenses, you just need to end me. Don't let me do that. Don't let me go down. I don't want
I
anybody to tell me how convenient they are because if I'm wearing transition lenses, I have given the fuck up.
I tell you what though, I feel bad making fun of them because I don't if like a grown adult is wearing them, but a lot of times they get them in kids' lenses, to make like kids who
God
have
damn, make me feel bad. Kids get a pass. Everybody knows they're wearing braces and glasses and then they have a glow up. I'm talking about anything older than I am right now. If I roll into you and I've got transition lenses on, you know why. It's not because my eyes need it. It's because I don't want to have to change my glasses into sunglasses and I have lost
Yep.
myself.
Yep. Well, I don't wanna disappoint you too much too, but besides that, my daughter, she is gonna get some sports goggles, which I think are super cool just to up the it girl factor, but, her retainer's gone. She graduated out of the retainer, so she doesn't have to wear it anymore. She's getting a permanent device installed so that when her, big teeth come in on the bottom, she's good to go, and I'm just not ready to let that part of my life go yet.
What do you mean orthodoxa?
No, her cute little retainer, like, it's such a big part of our day. It's gone, it's done. It broke, and we went to the orthodontist yesterday, and he's like, I don't think she needs it anymore. I think she needs this, like, permanent thing," and
You know what
that's
though? Let it go. You're gonna get her in sports goggles. She's still squarely in the middle of the phase that you're loving,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
sports goggles are a humbling, and necessary piece of, equipment because my husband had to wear, sports goggles, and nothing makes me laugh harder than thinking of my husband running down the court wearing and then his mom, I think she got a deal on 2 for 1's glasses for him and her, and so my husband in pictures, and it's noticeable, is wearing, like, large frame Sally Jessy Raphael glasses that are red. They're red, Jen. They're not see-through or light pink or even all the silver that was back in the day. They're red. So I think him and his mother in her single days got matching glasses.
I do think the '90s had some real, interesting ideas on glasses because I did know guys that wore those, like, big like, I it
Well, they
feels like
were
when you they should come with, like, a turtleneck and a V-neck sweater,
I know, 'cause
like,
they weren't fashiony, they were just necessities, so whenever you got glasses back in our day, they weren't cool, they were just to fit on your face, so they were always, like, rectangle shaped or and now, of course, because Gen Xers are coming in hot, we're, like, wearing, like, cool big frames and the kids and oh my god, if you just want to see me come undone, show me a baby with either a helmet or those little baby
oh,
wraparound glasses that look like little baby sports goggles. I'm
oh my
dead.
god.
It's the
They're
cutest.
so cute.
Why I mean, I can't even make sense of that.
They're rubber,
Yeah.
so they can sleep in them and it's just all this stuff. They're so cute.
And then they have
We act
videos where they show a little one seeing their mommy for the first time in clear view and the baby
destroy
smiles.
me.
God,
Destroy me.
I saw
Just
my
absolutely.
period immediately. Just like, Instaflow.
Also am tempted to let Delilah try contacts. So the only reason we're thinking about it is for, soccer and stuff like that because she soccer's one thing, lacrosse is another thing. Like, she really has bad eyesight, so I know it's, like, kind of, like, blurry when it comes to the soccer ball, but a lacrosse ball is
It's
so
like a bigot.
small.
Yeah.
Yes, she really needs to be able to see that, but I Googled it. I mean, I did my research, like people say. They say, like, you can let them try it, like, age 8. It just
Yeah.
depends on the kids, like, how after the first loss of the, retainer, she it really, like, taught her a lesson, and she's been really, like, strict about it. So I think she'd be okay, like,
It's just
she's
putting a finger in your own eyeball, putting them in. Jamie Carragher's daughters both or the oldest one has sports goggles and has the same thing, and she's super sporty, and so they opted for contacts, and he was, like, trying to put it in her eyeball, and, like, they're not easy. Contacts are, like I remember my friends always, like, Lynn and Danelle, and everybody would have contacts, and, like, Lynn's was popping out everywhere we went she would stop people. We were at Bader Lake and like 25 people were looking for her contact lens that was on the sand. Like they're tough.
yeah.
But listen, I have a whole new understanding for people with bad vision that I did not have a sensitivity to before. Having your vision go like right now where I'm just needing readers is the most frustrating, aggravating. I can't imagine how people feel when they get LASIK and they open their eyes and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is what My husband said this is what leaves look like. He always thought they were smudges. I mean, that stuff just also another video series if you wanna just have me destroyed all day, show me a freaking video where they get those glasses that cost a bunch of money that help you see color if you're colorblind,
Oh,
and then some
yeah.
asshole gives it to they all chipped in, and they got Roger a pair of these glasses, and then they put a bunch of balloons in front of him, then they give him the glasses, and then he knows what he's missing. See you later.
Oh,
See you
poor
later.
Roger. No,
Poor
that's a big
Roger.
deal. It's yeah, you do take it for granted if you haven't had to deal with it. Contacts a long time ago were rough,
Yeah.
but they're so much easier now. They're like super soft. You
Yes.
really don't feel them. Like if you lose one, it's not the end of the world. Like they're not $1,000,000.
Have you
Like
worn
when
'em? Have you worn contacts in your life?
Oh, yeah. Even 20 some years ago when I wore them, they were so much easier. I would get like a six pack from Walmart and they're disposable. And I don't know how long you're even supposed to wear them, but I could make a six pack last like 6 months easy. So I'm
Just
not,
like, "Well, hey, what looks like that left eye is not supposed to be swollen shut. Are you supposed to be at this bar right now?" "You
I
know,
got
it's
one
fine."
good eye. Yeah. No, it's fine. You know what you do? Dip them in vodka. It kills the
Oh
germs.
god.
Rinse them out in the sink and they're fine.
Oh my
Oh,
god. I know
okay.
you're not kidding.
I am not kidding. But actually, I got LASIK really early, and I wanna get it again, and I'm trying to get my husband to get it again too.
I will get it if it means I don't have to wear readers.
Yeah, I think it's a th I'm gonna start doing my Googling on it very soon.
We're Googling
But
a lot of things, you guys, lately.
y
We're Googling a lot of things.
we are, and okay, so I saw this on TikTok, and you know how I'm obsessed with Selena Gomez?
We all are.
Um
By the way, you never hear me say this. I am not this person. I am obsessed with her blush. It is
Oh,
very
yeah.
crumbly, and I've broken 2 with just my regular clumsiness, but they do shatter. But that, what do you call it? The what is it when it's glowy? Like the highlighting
Highlighter
highlighter
or
um,
bronzer. I
oh,
think her
the
that's just her
pink.
blush.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
blush. It's just
yeah.
real it looks real dewy on your face, and it's weird that I'm obsessed with it. I never talk like that, and
Yeah.
can't wear enough of it.
So I fell down a rabbit hole the other day of watching, her and Benny
Oh
Blanco.
my god, it's so cute. Love is in the air, you guys. There's so many love stories going on right now.
I love him. I
He's
don't know who he
awesome.
is or where he came from, but he is so hot.
You know what? It's because he's not hot that he's hot.
What?
He's not traditionally hot. He looks like a Muppet.
He looks a little filthy.
I know, and you like filthy. Ew. But he is I think he knows how to love her. You know what I mean? He is
That's all I imagine, Kristen, is just him loving her. That's I mean, they're both just beautiful people in my opinion, and I just go down a rabbit hole, like, sometimes they're really, like, up in each other's grill on their Instagram or
yeah.
TikTok,
They
and I'm
that's what
into it.
I want, and they do, like, those funny videos, those cute videos of, like, who told who they love them first? Who's the most romantic? Who's the most and I'm like, "I am here for this, you young love."
I wanna play this game with you today,
Oh
Kristen.
god. Okay.
Everybody's making this video of, like
Is this
hold
this
on.
for me?
Yeah, you and I are gonna play this game.
You know I love
This
this, Jenny. Make
this
everybody
is
think we're married.
I know, but I do okay, I got all these questions off of,
Fun, good
today
idea.
today.com
Okay.
because also I think, like, they're like icebreakers or
Yeah.
whatever at parties, but I was like, I think maybe people who listen to us or have, like, watched the videos for a while, I want them to be able to, like, play along and guess, and
Okay.
then you and I can kinda, like,
Fun.
explain it.
Okay.
So, okay. Oh, shit. I just read the first one. Oh, I don't okay,
When was the first time you and Jenny French kissed? Easy.
okay,
Halloween 2000 I'm just kidding.
okay. Here's a good one. This is a good friend one.
Okay.
Okay. Which one of us is most likely to take a week to respond to a text? It's me. It's
It's
me.
me. It is so Jen. It is so Jen. And in that week, I travel that she does not like me anymore, that I have disappointed her, that she isn't my friend, that I circle it and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna respond to her when she text messages. And then she'll text and I couldn't respond faster.
I'm just bad at it because I turn off my notifications, like, I turn off the sound. Kristen turns off her actual notifications, like, do you but somehow still, she has responded before you've even sent the text. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, "Hey, what time are we?" And she goes,
So
"I'll see you at 4." I'm like,
well, we're also sharing the same brain, so we start to think about those things at the exact same time. We both texted each other the exact same thing at the exact same time, worn the exact same outfit. I mean, it's at this point weird, like, and I also like it because I like don't need as much brain real estate. But
yeah.
100%, I've learned because when you don't respond, I'm like, first of all, I go through like she doesn't like me now, I don't like her now. I'm gonna, and then and then and then I'm like, wait, is she hurt? Is she okay? Wait, where did
Nope,
she go
she's
last night? Who was she with? Wait, how? And then it's true crime, and then you respond, and then I'm calm.
and then I'm like, "I just woke up."
Yeah,
Or
and I'm fine. Then I'm
"Oh,
fine. I'm honest
sorry, I was at the pool,"
yeah,
or
I'm
something.
honestly fine.
I also, and this makes my husband crazy, if I leave the house and I don't have my phone, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll just, go to the grocery store, do," like, he will not do that. He will come back to the house
To
to
get his
get his.
on.
Yeah, and I'm like, that kinda means, like, you're addicted to it a
And
little bit, like.
it's so funny we're talking about this. I had a terrible phone day yesterday. When my anxiety is pitched, I'm on my phone too much.
Ah,
As though I can control the world by managing, what we do in our lives and stuff through the phone. It's like it's not the way to get tasks done, in my opinion, that feels the best way to get them done. Like, getting this office switched in my daughter's room downstairs, bless my husband, felt like I got something done. But being addicted to my phone and I'll go through days where I'm on it nonstop, and then I'll go through some days where, like, I'll even say to you, I'll be like, I'm gonna jump off the grid," and, like, I am so much happier when I'm not on it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I see things in 3D. I feel like I like watching people. My brain shuts down, but when I'm having pitched anxiety, which I do, a diagnosed anxiety disorder, I enjoy,
oh.
making it worse by getting on my phone.
Yeah, well, I do this thing. It made me think of you, but also I was like, "Oh, that's me," because sometimes I like have my phone down and I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to be with the kids, like I'm going to be
Yeah,
present. They're like
present.
trying to show me something or like let's have a conversation." And I'm like, "Oh, I just need to look up on my phone like what day I'm doing X or
Yes.
something like that." So then I get on my phone and I'm like, "Ooh, I got a notification from Poshmark. Let me go check Poshmark." And then I don't know if that's in style. Let me go to Instagram and see if anybody's wearing that right now because that is a good deal.
I would rather just make the admission to myself that I wanna lay on the couch and look at TikTok and waste time. I'd rather just tell myself, "You can waste 15 minutes of your time," than
Right.
try to convince myself what I'm doing is productive, because
Yeah,
it's not.
we just gotta, like, you gotta set aside time for that. Like,
Yeah.
I do tell myself too, like, it's okay, like, it's what we do,
Yeah.
like, it's our jobs kind of. So I'm like, I need to set aside time to, like, look at this stuff. So the meme that I saw that reminded me of you was there's this, like, deep sea, like, scuba diving, and it was like, "I just came on here for a recipe, and it's 2 hours later, and I'm, learning about the North Sea." It's like, it's so true.
That's my encyclopedia of knowledge. By the way, if you ever hear me say, I read this article about that is a fat lie. I saw on TikTok and I know 2 minutes worth of information at my
Yeah.
best. I could be like, "Yeah, I just read about this shark attack," and someone could come
Whoa.
there and I could be like, I think it was a river in Massachusetts. And they're like, absolutely not. Not even sharks live there. So I'm learning nothing. I'm doing nothing. But sometimes I like to let my brain waste time for 15 minutes.
Totally.
But I've really tried to turn a corner and read more and put my phone down more. But there are just days that it does come with my anxiety disorder. Next question.
Okay. Which one of us is most likely to forget about dinner
Oh, God,
plans?
me. 100% me. Without not only forget dinner plans, go the day before to the house that I think we're having dinner at, show up. Huh, I
With
mean,
a side dish.
with a
Yeah.
side dish, and they say, "Oh, that's not till tomorrow." I've done that 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I went to a birthday party with Eleanor, and I got to the door, and I was like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be here yet." Got there at 2, weren't supposed to show up till 6, walked back home. There's nobody that has screwed up more appointments. It's because of my ADD that I have the death of me is the fricking Google Calendar. When I can write it down, I am so much better off. And then everyone's like, "Why don't you write it down?" Because if you saw our calendar and how many times things get changed and how many times I would need a calendar the size of a Honda Civic. So it is, I'm still figuring it out. I live and breathe by our Google count. I set reminders. But I will mess up a 2-car funeral.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay.
Most likely to marry someone they just met.
Oh boy. I'm just gonna put my hand up. Mm,
Both of us are pretty guilty of
I
that.
think we both in our own right. And
We were young and
oh, Jen was
adventurous.
very young. Jen was so young that had I known her then, I would have grabbed her by her hair and said, "What in the hell are you doing? You don't get married in Vegas. You make mistakes that are like on the gambling table or on a strip-up pole
No,
mistakes."
you would have been like, "We're from Nebraska. You have the full big ass wedding
Yeah,
at this age
I
now.
want the mints. I want the mints.
I
Yes.
want you to have
Yes.
14 bridesmaids that were just in your homeroom last year." Get married young, you guys. Okay.
Oh my.
Ooh, 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 Kristen,
Okay,
these ones are
and
fun.
Jen,
Okay, ready?
remind me that
Most
we gotta do a podcast about Bridesmaids because I've
Oh,
been a
yeah.
bridesmaid 11 and a half times, and that's a story to tell. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Who's most likely to keep a secret?
You.
Yeah.
Actually actually, here's what I would say. You could tell Jen your deepest, darkest, and she's a vault, and she doesn't even do the thing where if someone's trying to get the information, you have that look of like, "I know something." Like, y
The
d
eyebrows.
the Um, and, like, if you guess it, it's not really telling the secret. Like that none of that bullshit. You're like a vault. Like, like you're like a good poker player. Me, I forget people tell me stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a safe bet because the ticker tape is short, and I've probably started to, like, download different information, and I'm like, "Wait, what? Did she just say that she was having an affair, or we were going to a fair?" So
I will say, if you tell me that this is a secret or like you don't want people to know this, I'm good. If you just say it, I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting information for me to help other people feel better about their situation about," like
somebody
I
has to tell you, "This is a secret." If I was like, "Hey, I got a weird thing on my right side of my butt," would you be
yeah,
like, "Well, that's weird because Kristen found a weird thing on the right side of her butt too."
1000%,
"Okay, don't
1000%,
go telling
yeah.
people about my butt."
I think it's because, like, I'll tell too much about myself, so I just assume, like, we're all okay with it,
I know.
right? Like
Eleanor, Eleanor's, 11, and she's not, we're in the ramp up into puberty, right? So, but really heightened in the sense of all things kind of embarrassing, right? And so
yes.
I was talking to somebody, I didn't know them. I think I was just in a department store, and I said something like, "Oh, you gotta try those bras, they're way more comfortable." And Eleanor, it was like I was like, "You should look at my vagina and see if it looks like your vagina." Eleanor was like, "You are too open." I'm like, "Girl, do not come to our live show. You can't, you're not
Uh-oh.
allowed." But, uh, being open is like my jam. I don't know any other way to be.
This okay, here's another one. Who is most likely to be secretly wealthy? It's Kristen.
No way.
It's Kristen's like, "You guys, I've been saving. I
No.
do believe this. I haven't s Kristen has not spent her milk money since she was in kindergarten, and
That's
she's
really
got it.
nice, but that is not how it is right now. I will tell you, I do think I lived in a philosophy, that I was gonna have to move back to Nebraska if I didn't have, like, money saved to, like, fall on if I was living in LA, and LA is so expensive. I had all this, like I was just really scared, so I was a lost shopper, like, always.
Oh, yeah.
I never went to Starbucks, not really until I was 40. Like, so just
Yeah,
2 years ago. What's up? Mhm.
I
Um,
know.
I kids ruin everything and change everything, and, like, I was unknowingly frugal because I just didn't think I could do those things, but now I would go back and I would change so many things. I would go on the vacation, I would stop trying to work so hard all the time and give myself a break, and I just was like a dog with a bone because I was like, "You don't know when you're gonna have to move back. You're gonna have to live with your parents. Your mom's gonna wanna
Yeah.
organize your shit all the time. You gotta stay here."
I think that would be an interesting topic to have as a whole podcast because, like, my brother and I were talking and, like, with my parents, like, 80s divorce and them,
Yeah,
like, fighting over money and stuff like that. I think we always thought there was, like, lack, which is a really bad, like, place to get your, like, get your,
it's the
like,
worst.
financial impulses from. Because there's times where I'm like, "Oh, it's always gonna be like this. I might as well just live it up right now," or,
Yeah,
like, I just read this thing and I was like, "Oh, Kristen would l love this." It was just like a quote that said, "You have to teach yourself to make do or do without."
yeah,
Which literally is a thought that has never crossed my mind.
yeah. I always
If I
think
w
needs, not wants. Like, do I need it or do I want it? And when you're trying to lean out for whatever reason, and God, like, LA is so expensive in
so
every way,
expensive.
and it's
Dumb.
easy to get caught up. It's easy, like, you want the nice stuff, and you want the nice car, and you want the nice house, and you want the and all of that is totally normal to want, and when you're in a city that is 5 times as expensive as every other city, it is a different you have to contend with the fact that your premium is to live here. So
Yeah.
it's just different, and so my listen, I love that you think I have hidden money. I did when I got married. I forgot that I put money away for a wedding, and we found it 6 years later.
Oh
I
my
had
god.
$8,000 in an account, and it was supposed to go towards our wedding, and I had forgotten about it. But good thing we had a baby, so
Ye
that money came in handy. That's
I
the
d
I don't know, and I got my wedding dress for literally, like, $600. I just was one of those people.
I love to get a deal. Well, that's the other thing is I do like to buy shit, but I always make sure I get a good deal on it, but I do have a secret divorce fund that my husband knows about, and he calls it the secret divorce fund. I will never divorce him, but I will always have, like, this account,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like
My parents used to call it a fondest fund,
that's a lot nicer than
and
secret divorce fund, but
I call it "oh shit money."
yeah.
You know? But
Yeah,
right
maybe I should.
now, those accounts are real lean, but I'm doing my best, man. You see me in an Uber, don't be weird about it. I am one of those people that I will work. When it comes down to it, I'll just work. I have no shame. Like, if there's an opportunity for me to work or to, save or to do something like that, I will do it. And I've gotten better about I've been saying to people like, "Ah, we can't really swing that right now because 'cause we're saving for Ireland." I think it's perfectly fine to tell people you're not in a
Yeah.
position to go out and throw a bunch of money around. And I think people find it comforting and they go, "Oh god, thank God, us too." Because we'll just say, "Hey, we'd rather just like hang out by our pool and do burgers and pizza. We're not gonna do anything fancy." And everybody is always like, you can see a breath of fresh, like a breath of relief. And I'm like, because everybody is feeling the pinch right now, unless you have generational wealth and a billionaire dad, like or
Yeah.
billionaire mom, good on you. That ain't me.
I do think it's better to say those things too and, like, normalize it and, like, think your finances out loud in front of your children, not to
Yeah.
stress them out because you shouldn't, like, give your children, like, adult problems or something, but, like, Delilah has birthday money, she has cash, so we were going to get her friend we're going to the mall to pick out a birthday gift for her friend, and I was like, "You need to bring your money because if you see something that you want, you're going to buy it with your money." And we went in the goddamn Sanrio store, which
Oh boy.
nothing pisses me off more than that because as somebody who wants to that's like the, Hello Kitty, all those that
Yeah.
whole franchise. As somebody who, like, hates to get a bad deal, everything in there is literally, like, 15 times what it should cost.
I
It makes me
agree.
absolutely crazy. So we go in there and she wants to get something for her friend for her birthday. And she's like, I want this. I go, okay, you're going to spend your money on it. And she's like, I don't want this. I don't want it.
Exactly.
All of a sudden it's her money. And she's like, oh, getting
Oh,
real like
kids are Ebenezer
concerned.
Scrooge when it comes to their own dough, but when it's yours, it's like, "Money, money." Finn's like,
Ooh,
"Hey,
make it
yeah, make
rain.
it rain." Finn's like, "Hey, Mom, can we get acai brews?" And I'm like, "Sure, do you have money in your wallet?" And he's like, And I go, "Hey, dude, those are $9 a pop. You figure it out. But you're not gonna just get yourself one, you're gonna also offer one for your sister." And he's like, "Jeez, Mom, after tip, that's like $24." I'm like, "Welcome to my world, bro, but you've got money and I do not, so there you go."
Oh my god, I
Okay.
know. We go to Wetzel's Pretzels and
Oh,
it's 30
forget
oh
it.
my god, I can't
A
even. Okay.
pretzel, I'm just not a fool.
Okay, these are easier quick ones though.
Okay,
Okay. Most likely to buy a lottery ticket.
not me. Absolutely not.
Totally. I
No
love
way.
it. I love it. I love a scratcher. I don't actually like the one where you have to wait because I'm immediate. I want the dopamine
Yeah.
blast like right then, which is why I do penny slats. Okay. Most likely to borrow something and not return it.
Her
I'll wait.
Kristen, 100% Kristen. Not only
Yellow
that, fall in
ball.
love with it and kinda go, "Maybe I'll just return it when she asks for it."
She's not using it. I see her not using
Still not
it.
using it. By the way, can we just say the greatest fan story of our life? I mean, there's so many, but this is pretty epic. Is when Jen and I have this. If you haven't listened to this, the short version is Jen had this cute yellow ball. I borrowed it for some reason, and it was part of a stack from Costco that was very hard to find, and it was the middle part of the stack.
I brought it to her house with like a
Salad
salad
in it,
in it.
and I cleaned it, and then I put some lemons in it, and it looked very darling in my kitchen, and so every time Jen came over, I would hide the bowl because I didn't want her to ask for it back, and then one time I forgot, and Britt saw the bowl, and I saw him see the bowl, and I saw him look at Jen and go, "That's our yellow bowl," and then I saw Britt, and I was like, "I get the bowl," and then he laughed so hard because I had admitted that I had held the bowl forever, and then I went back to Jen's house 2 weeks later, and they were using it as a water bed for their dogs. I was so pissed, and
See,
then a
that was my
fan
husband's waspy passive aggressive way of dealing with that because the guy barely buys anything. He buys this stack of bowls
he's
at
obsessed with it.
Costco.
How do I know? It's a great bowl. But then
Yeah.
a mom saw that video or saw us talking about that, found it hilarious, and sent me her yellow bowl, to which I have to this day,
Yes.
and I use it all the time. And I wrote my name on the bottom because I marked my territory. Thank you very much.
Yep. That's
Okay.
smart. It's smart to put your name on the bottom of
Yeah.
it. I have
So to do
learned.
not use it.
Most likely to get lost on a road trip.
100% me.
You think so?
Actually, I
I
have
think
to.
because you know that about yourself, I think you're gonna
I'm a
follow GPS, and
yes.
I think I'm gonna go off and look for, like, a side thing or something, and
I think we would equally get lost and we would equally find our way. And together we could win America's greatest race or whatever that is. Because we did an escape room together and Jen and I spent so much time together. All of us adults got together and we did an escape room. And it was like if you've seen Inside Out too, it was like Jen and I were like stone cold just chill and one after the next solving the clues, and everyone else around us was like anger and anxiety, like literally sweating. The other two dudes were doing all right, but we were like, we knew each other's language, we knew what we were good at, we
yeah.
knew what, like how to calm. Like there has our entire lives have been escape rooms, so that wasn't that big of a surprise.
We were both bringing so much of the same thoughts to the table that it
Yeah,
was like, "We should probably split up and be on somebody else's
but
teams,"
we
because
we we tried, but then we ended up getting together and we're like, "Let's just win this. I wanna go eat. Like, let's
Yeah,
get out
okay.
of this thing," and we are like,
I was like, "How come they don't serve drinks in
"I
here?" I
know."
guess because it would slow things down, but
There was, like, one
if
dad crying in the corner, like, "I don't like small spaces." I'm like, "Well, don't do an escape room, dummy." Like,
these ones most likely to. I'm just gonna read them all 3 at
"Okay, let's
once
go."
and just I'll own them. Who is most likely to be married in Vegas?
Jen,
Who is most likely to buy a designer
Jen,
purse? Who is most likely to stay up all night?
Jen.
Who is most likely to cancel plans to take a nap?
Kristen.
Kristen! Who is most likely to have a messy room?
Christine. With yes, absolutely.
This one's kind of funny too. Who is most likely to Uber a short distance instead of walking? I think it depends on the day,
Depends on the
honestly.
day.
Because both of us like to walk, but both of us
On a
don't
like
like to walk
yeah. I
sometimes.
would say I would say if it depends on if we're traveling or if we're just out and about. If we're out and about, I'm fine to walk. If we're traveling, I'm like, I don't care if I'm taking an Uber from Concourse A to Concourse A1. I'm not walking.
God, it depends on the shoes, it depends on what you're carrying,
Oh,
it
man.
depends on
And
time
you
of
and I,
day.
we've become like stellar travelers. I remember that flight that we missed by like 7 minutes to Chicago. Like we were either in Chicago and it was to go home and we'd been on the road for like 8 days. And you like Jen, when Jen sweats, it's on the top of her lip and it's between
I'm a
her eyebrows. And
sweaty woman.
she's glowy and I just get red blotches. And we were both looking at each other like and I like we were crying and running. Jen's lips were all tight.
If there's a bunch of us, like, going to a concert or something like that, I'll be like, "Let's just get a car. Let's all
Yeah,
just, like,
no
split a
doubt.
car,
It's
an
never to be
Uber."
cheap. It's not to be cheap. You know what I
It's
mean?
no, and it's also it's might sound like prima donna-y, but every time you do it, people are like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad we did this."
I know
Because
because you're wearing heels most likely. It definitely depends on my shoe game.
100%, and I don't wanna, like, wear, like, a fancy outfit to go to Dolly Parton and wear sneakers.
No.
Okay, this one,
And that's
we're gonna do an entire podcast on. We
okay.
just have to.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a note. Who is most likely to keep a diary?
Oh, Jesus. Not anymore. I learned my lesson. If you don't want it said out loud, don't write it down.
Kristen has the world's
Oh,
most hilarious middle
where
school
is
into
it?
high school diary that anyone has ever had, and I think there are some days I wake up and I thank Terry for sending that diary.
If you don't know about this, why don't you explain it, Jenny?
So Kristen's mom sent her this suitcase full of, all this memorabilia from her youth, and in it was this little, diary with a lock that had red, yellow, and blue balloons
God,
on the
it
front
looked
of
like I
it,
was a 2-year-old.
and, if she hadn't filled out every damn page of that diary, I mean, and every page of it was the most tragic love story, like unrequited love with somebody named like
Brad,
uh
Josh,
Brad, Travis,
Trent,
Chad.
Josh. I
Oh
mean,
god.
the list, it was like Dallas for like nobody getting action.
And it
And
was
of
like,
course,
well,
it
he's dead to me.
excuse me, kind of
And then her
do,
with her
do the thing, do the thing. So we found the diary. I pooped my pants. I ran into the bathroom. I didn't really poop my pants, but I shut the door and I looked at the diary because I was like, maybe this is from like fifth grade or something. And sure enough, it was from my freshman year. So, it was real steamy. And 30 minutes later, after hard pressing and a lot of like different angles of coming at me, like my husband, like doing this quiet conversation, going like, hey, you need to let her read this. You need to let Jen read your diary. I'm like, oh yes, bro. Do you know I'm guessing? And the agreement was we would just let her open it and read whatever page. So
Mhm.
I was like, all right, fine. And of course, the one page you find is the freaking humdinger. And I'm in a love triangle and I'm the only one in the triangle. And
Yeah,
I am in love with everybody and it's achy and it's
and he loves somebody
yes,
else.
named Megan Wall.
Megan Wall.
Please do that.
And Kristen was like, "Stop reading. She's still alive. She's gonna hear this. She's gonna see it. It's so upsetting." It was the best.
Please do your
Mm.
thing that our little friend that we met on the road and his boyfriend say to each other all the time about my dad getting a job. Mhm.
Dad just got a job in Grand Island. I sure hope we move. I could just hear the passion in her bubble writing, you guys. We got to go back to it. At least to just relook at the things that we've already exposed, Kristen,
Absolutely
just for the podcast
no.
audience. I
No.
mean,
I put that sucker under lock and key. I didn't even tell Colin what it was because I know I'm like, you want to see, and I read more and I was like, Jesus, Kristen, have you no shame?
but But the funny thing is it's so meaningful to you, which is why it's funny to us because no one cares. Like even the people who were mentioned were like, "Yep, it's me. I feel good about it." I like
Yeah. You know what was so cool? I have to say, the coolest part of that terrible experience, which is always like silver lining kind of stuff I like, is we did that video. I was mortified. We read the diary, and then those bros that were mentioned, all of their
Yep.
wives reached out to me and said that like totally made them put like a feather in their cap, and they were all having like conversations about memory lane, which I just love. Like, it's not about
Yeah.
me. It's just well, it is nice. It is a little bit about me because nobody noticed me back then. What's up? And then when we did our live show, we showed that clip at the Grand Island
Yep.
show. And
And they were in the front
yes, and
row.
Jeff and Trent were there. And I was like, and by the way, they still hold up. They're gorgeous. So it went, and the wives are great, and everybody was fun, and it was super good.
Okay, so here's some quick ones.
Okay.
Most likely to sleep with a childhood teddy bear. That's me.
Me too.
Oh, both of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Okay. Most likely to regift a present.
me. Kristen. I think I've regifted gifts that people have given me.
This is a fun one. Most likely to break up a fight.
Me.
Yep.
Actually, no. I think both of us are very good at I think we both do that in a very different way, but I
Yeah.
think there would be part of me that would instantly worry about you getting in there. Do you know what I
I
mean?
think together we would 100%
Yeah,
be
if
like,
you
we got
if
this. Let
you
us break this up.
yeah, if you got in there first, I'd be worried about you. If we got in there together, we would stop the fight.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Okay. Who's most likely to write a bestseller?
both of us. I don't know. I'm sorry, we've already done that. What? Stay
Okay.
tuned, y'all.
Speaking of that, I have a hot
Okay,
flash.
great.
Okay.
Sorry,
I
sorry.
You know what? I have a hot flash into a mom box.
Go,
Have we ever done that
go,
before?
go
Okay.
for it.
I wanted so I'll tell you who the hot flash is and why I just remembered
Okay.
it. And then I'm gonna tell you then I'll read the mom box. Okay. Where are my readers? Okay. Okay. So my hot flash is Keanu
Oh
Reeves,
god, done. Full stop.
who just wrote a book called he's
All of it.
okay, he's a movie star, a teen crush, uh,
Adult crush.
in a band,
In a band.
like,
Kind of a
you hear
hippie, loving.
nice, generous, like, drives a Kia.
Married and is with a woman who is his contemporary and has gray hair and is a perfectly beautiful but normal person,
No
and
he's like a
he's
normal guy.
and also all of this shit that is recorded all the time because everybody records everybody all the time. He's always kind. He gets up on subways. Like Keanu Reeves is like an
He's
extraordinary
the
person.
he's the real deal, and now add to that super hot list, he's a
I
novelist,
love
okay?
that.
And it's, so it just came out, it's called The Book of Elsewhere, and it follows a man who
He
cannot die.
so interesting. He wrote a novel. It's not a autobiography or a memoir. He's a
Nope.
novelist. God, Keanu quit it.
I know, stop it. You wanna get even hotter than that?
Keanu.
Okay, here's where the mom box comes in, you
Okay.
guys. All of these worlds are just colliding for me, okay? Alright, so Rebecca H, sent us a message.
Okay.
She's a fan, and a mom. Okay. So, she said, "When I was 19 or 20, I saw Keanu Reeves' band Dog Star play at a bar in New
God
Jersey.
bless.
When he came on the crowd, or when he came on the stage, the crowd surged forward and I was knocked over. A bartender picked me up and Keanu said to the crowd, 'I'm not playing until I know she's okay.'"
That's when it would get weird for me. They'd be like, "I'm not gonna play until she stops, touching herself inappropriately."
What should you be able to see someone ovulate? Because I just did. I
At
can tell by
19,
her eye
my eggs
contact.
would have been like disco balls. They'd have been like I mean, like
Several men
yeah.
were hit by eggs that jumped out of her pants at the Keanu Reeves Dog Star concert. I mean, that's the hottest, like
God, stop. And he's 19 to have that wherewithal. You are a star. You're meant to be a star. You will always a star. Keanu, yes.
He's the best. Is this the funnest game ever?
This
I
is a
feel like
fun
we
game.
could
This was such a good idea, Jen. This like brought like you and I have been like working really hard and this felt like so fun. And now we
I
have like new
know.
podcast things that we're gonna talk about, not the diary, but we're gonna talk weddings and
The
bridesmaids
diary?
and not the diary because
The
that is a
diary.
one and done. Oh, but you know
But
what? We'll read somebody else's
that's right.
with
If you guys wanna
permission.
send us yeah, if you wanna send us any of your, diary excerpts,
Let
I
Jen
will
read
do
it.
characters of them.
Oh, Jen's the best. It's that voice that she does, and I'll just
Well
either that or the retainer, and I'll listen to both. His face
well,
friend.
I think we should save some questions, we can do them on a live, and we can do our own little, Selena Gomez, Benny Blanco,
Because so that people can see us?
video.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great, great, great.
We'll do them in the same place.
Well, I think we
All right.
podcasted, Jenny.
I think we podcasted. I think so.